We are here for our post-game press conference joined by Marvin McGee, CJ Hardy, and Jamel Jones. We will now open up for questions.
Well, Blue, let's start with you because you didn't play a ton of minutes, but you did knock down a key three at the end of the game. Just your thoughts in the moment and the play.
I just stay ready. You don't got to get ready. If you stay ready. Coach called my name. I was ready to play. I ain't getting my feelings about not playing. Most of the first half, I was just ready.
Guys, your thoughts on just observing what he did?
Well, just in key moments like that, it all comes down to trust, really. And with him being in the right spots, I feel like me, along with Mel and the rest of the guys on the team, we know he can make those big-time shots, and we just put all our trust in him to hit those shots, and he did what he does best.
For you in particular, CJ, you seem more aggressive offensively in the second half. I know that was a long locker room speech you guys got at halftime, so I don't know what was said, but can you just share with us your thoughts in terms of the second half?
It was just grit. It was hard work. We knew we had to defend our home court, getting ready to come into another tough one coming in next Saturday. So, we just got to put our pride aside and do what's asked and do what we're capable of doing, and we did and pulled out the win tonight.
Jamel, your thoughts on a game that for the longest time it didn't look like you guys were going to win this thing, and here you are with a 5-point win.
Just showing toughness, showing that we could fight through adversity and still come out with a win.
What was tough about this team?
They got a lot of shooters. We got to run them off the line. They didn't really have that many guys that like to attack the basket, and they can shoot deep threes. So just getting out and staying disciplined.
If you don't mind me asking, I'll go through all three of you, or maybe two of you. But what was the message at halftime? Because you guys didn't come out to shoot much during halftime.
It was a lot of messages, but I think the one that stuck with me the most was take more pride in defense. Them guys, I don't think they're better than us, so I think that as long as we all stay disciplined and do what coach is asking of us, then we could come out with a win every game.
CJ, what did you hear at that halftime?
The biggest takeaway was one possession at a time, just one stop at a time. And we knew the offense was going to come to us, so just that getting one stop at a time, we knew if we could do that, we'd crawl back into the game and pull it out.
Okay. Guys?
Mel, when you're on a heater like that, what kind of goes through your mind, especially in that second half?
Just give me the ball. That's what I be thinking. But, Coach got a great game plan, and his timing is phenomenal. So I just listen to what he tells me and just do what I do.
CJ, it looked like you started to take over in that second half as well. What kind of went through your mind as well?
Just trusting coach, trusting the guys I'm on the floor with, trading back with Mel, switching positions, going off the ball screens. We knew we could get anything we wanted. We just had to wait and trusting him and trusting our other teammates. And lastly, trusting coach because he puts us in the best situation possible. And that's what he did tonight for us to come out with the win.
And Marv, what does this win mean for you guys going forward, considering that you guys erased a 10-plus point deficit in the second half?
It's a big win for us. We just got to keep putting our head down and working every day, getting better, getting back to ourselves. Because that first half, we wasn't ourselves. But that second half, we got back to ourselves and our principles and what we do best.
And what do you think changed in the second half compared to the first?
Our energy, defense. We weren't letting them get as many back doors as they was getting. We started cutting all that stuff out.
CJ, what's to say about this team early into the season, only 3 games, that you guys scrapped the way you scrapped?
We're a tough team. We make some minor mistakes, but we know what's expected of us. We know what we need to do. And as long as we stick to the game plan and trust in each other and trust in the coaching staff and not steer our own paths, we'll be really good.
Jamel, for a guy who seems automatic on the offensive end of the floor, you were the first one to talk about defense. What about that scrap that you guys showed in the second half to get back into this game?
I think everybody did great defensively. Guys was on the midline, guys was denying. I'm not sure, but I don't think best offensive player did much in the second half. Don't quote me on that, but I just think we all just did what was asked.
If we could just get, even if you aren't from this area, Fresno State, Saturday, it's a Valley, game in the Valley. Your thoughts on that, Jamel?
It's going to be a tough game. I'm very familiar with a couple players on their team, and I think Coach going to have a great game plan for us to execute.
CJ, your thoughts on a game that means a lot to the Valley?
Like Mel said, it's going to be a tough game, but I think we take the rest of this week serious and really prepare and lock in on what we got to do. We can come out with another win and protect our home court.
Well, what about the Bulldogs?
You said what about the Bulldogs?
What about playing Fresno State?
I feel like if we stay true to us, we gonna win. We gonna pull through. Just listen to everything, coach. Trust in coach. We gonna pull through the dub with the dub.
Anyone else? All right, thanks, guys.
Appreciate
All right,
it.
thank you.
Congrats on the win.
We're now joined by head coach Rod Barnes, and we will open up to the floor. Or, Coach, give us your thoughts on the game.
First of all, I'm thankful for every time I get a chance to coach the game of basketball. I think when people around the game and see young men do what they did tonight, there's a lot of adversity out there. To see them kind of overcome that, be a part of that, got to give those guys a lot of respect. I mean, we tried to pressure those guys off the line. They changed their game plan, and they shot the three early, which we know they would shoot it, and then we took it away, and then they started beating us back door. They're well coached, got a very good basketball team, and just thankful we were able to pull out the win.
That was what seemed to be a long halftime speech.
Well, the thing is I've allowed our assistant coaches to do a lot of halftime and even sometimes in the game. I think that's their development and growth of my staff. 3 guys on their play for me, and then Coach Scott been with me, I think, 6 years now, 5 years. So I trust them. And when we're trying to get a team that's kind of new to each other, you need everyone to be coaching. And I allowed those guys so much that we needed to talk about at halftime, so I let each coach have an opportunity to share. And I really didn't say a whole lot, to be honest with you. I just told those guys, like, we're at home, we got to win the home game, and it's just one possession at a time. But the coaches are the ones that really talk to them about the changes that we needed to make and, what we had done wrong. So proud of my staff.
What is it that you think you solved a little bit in the second half? Because offensively, you guys were shooting at a pretty good clip. So it wasn't your offensive in terms of shooting in the high 40s, almost 50% at times. You just couldn't cut into the lead.
Well, we were so aggressive. I mean, after they made a couple of threes, we got aggressive, and that's where they were able to beat us back door. But a lot of that has to do with just new players. We got caught several times with, a sub, a new player on the court, having done something that don't necessarily that we've worked on as much. Their understanding of it. We went through their plays today, and I could just tell that there was some questions about, our denial and being physical and pushing them up the line, and then understanding what would happen in the back cut. So they caught us. Again, that's why I said they're a real coach, got a smart basketball team, and they're a team that when they find something that works for them, they just take advantage of it. And early on, we didn't get to them on some threes, and even sometimes we got to them and they made them. But then after we started to push them off the line, they started to backdoor us and got some easy baskets. And for us, it's kind of deflating. We like to contest at the rim, And they had a couple of plays because they had to do something different than a lot of teams. They had 5 guys on the perimeter, and when you got 5 guys on the perimeter, sometimes there's no one at the basket. But the second half, we changed the way we guarded. We told our guys that we were going to do something a little bit different, that we were going to push them up the line, but we weren't going to deny them out too far. We were going to protect our basket. And if they came over the top of the screen, we were okay with that. And I think that adjustment helped our team and got us a few stops. And then I think once we got going, our guys just started really believing in it.
You didn't play a lot of minutes, but Blue made the most of them with that go-ahead 3. Just your thoughts in that moment and that shot.
Well, I trust him. I mean, he's in the gym all the time. He's one of our best shooters, if not our best shooter. It's just him understanding. Like, I played him out of position tonight to get those shots because I knew they were going to be there. And I told him, hey, man, you get to shoot it, you know, and we trust and believe in him. He makes shots every day. Again, he's one of probably our best three-point shooters. But, again, that's why I said, and I told them in there, we got a team with a lot of depth. We just got to keep everybody ready every night and be prepared. And, you know, if we do that, we got a pretty dangerous team.
Guys?
Mel was in the starting lineup today. How did he impact the game, especially in the second half?
Well, you know, Mel was an unselfish young man. First of all, I didn't start him at the beginning of the game. And we started Jaden at the point and Marvin, Red, as we call him, and then Corey and Tom and Fidelis. The second half we started him because, man, you know, you get that feeling. I knew he was ready to go. But the unselfish part for him was I asked him today, did he want to start? And he said, Coach, be honest with you, I want to make up for what happened the other night because he just didn't start the last game. And he was kind of in his feelings. And he didn't shoot the ball, wasn't as aggressive. But I wanted to ask him because I knew, I mean, he's our leading scorer. So you need to have a conversation with him about not starting. And again, unselfish young man to say, hey, Coach, I want to redeem myself for coming off the bench. Now, after tonight, I don't know what he's going to say when we get ready for Fresno State, but he did say that. But the second half, I told him, like, it's who finishes the game. And I thought today we had some guys, CJ being in the lineup with Marvin, we call Blue, the fourth. And I thought those guys handled it well as far as being out there. That's not the easiest thing to do. And I told them, for us to win, winning is hard. It takes a lot of sacrifice, a lot of discipline, a lot of work. And, you know, I think just today just was a little bit to show that, again, we have depth. I think we got other guys on the bench in certain situations that, you know, people will see that they'll show up too. You know, it's just we have numbers enough to do that. I mean, I didn't even play Kadar Waller that much, and he had started for us in the last game. But again, I think that's our team, and I think you and I talked about that. Like, I don't know who's going to start. We'll find out who's going to start for Fresno Saturday night. I think that's when we play them, right? Saturday night. I mean, it's just practice, it's game planning, and it's how dudes are feeling about themselves. And, you know, and I just thought tonight, you know, there in the second half, I thought Mel was good for us. I mean, he could score the basketball, but I thought CJ's speed kind of really hurt them. So, but don't be surprised if it's 2 or 3 other players the next game.
What's it like seeing your team fight back from a 10-plus point deficit, final 10 minutes of the game, and really work to take the lead and win the game?
Well, I told them, I don't usually tell them that much that I'm proud of them because my expectations is for us to be at our best. And I expect each guy every night to be at their best, and it's not going to happen. But as a coach, that's a standard I want to set. But I told them I was proud of them because early on, the way those guys were shooting the ball, you could pack up your stuff and go home and say, we'll try this again tomorrow. And then after we got to the second half and, you know, we fighting back, just to see them stay in there. I never had a sense on the bench that the guys didn't think they could win the game. There was some concern, I think, what changes we need to make to try to help them. And again, I give our staff credit for that because they kept saying, hey, coach, just stay with it, we're going to be all right. And I thought we would be all right, but, when you make changes at halftime, if it go wrong, it could get bad. And we made the right calls, and obviously, I'm in charge of substitutions, so I thought we put the right guys on the floor to be able to make a run. But I'm proud of this team. Again, that's a hard-fought game, a lot of adversity, a lot of tough plays, and to see them just hang in there. And it's the way we want to win in Bakersfield. So that's probably the proudest thing for me, that we just kept grinding it out, and when we got a chance to get ahead, we ended up winning the game.
So, Coach, I know looking ahead to Fresno State, you may not have the scouting report you want, but that's not where I'm going with it. But it is a game in the Valley.
Yeah.
And so can you just talk about that dynamic and just that you're playing the other Division I school that's closest by and in the Valley?
It's important. I mean, that's all you can say. It's an important game, not just because it's the next. It's some other things that come with that. We're both in the Valley. We're 90 miles apart. We recruit some of the same guys. We're very familiar, with Fresno, not necessarily this team, because they're probably not familiar with our team because we got so many players. And it's a good game. We're expecting a good crowd. And I think it'll be another exciting game, and hopefully people will come out and see our team. I think I said this in the beginning when we first started this season. I would love for people to take this journey with us. Because I think this team is a team that as we go forward, like tonight, I think they're going to start to seeing some things that they really enjoy. Can I say this? And I don't know if you asked me any more points. 86 points for a Rod Barnes team against a good team. Can I get an applause up in here? Can everybody clap? No, I say that because we've had our struggles offensively, and man, I think we did, we could score the ball better, but we're trying to play a little bit faster. And I mean, tonight I thought we might have got a little too fast the way they would shoot the basketball. But again, I like our team. We still got a long ways to go, and we got a lot more guys. We got to try to get better.
So along those lines, and applause due to you, but you guys only had one assist, like 25 minutes into the game.
Yeah.
And it seemed like Jamel was Caleb Higgins, and we were seeing a lot of that for a while.
Yep.
Your thoughts in terms of where you want this offense to be? Even though had a great performance and CJ really stepped up in the second half, but your thoughts in terms of where you want this offense to be, what you want it to look like?
Well, I think some of that is happening because, again, I mean, you got a lot of new guys on the floor. I mean, we went down the stretch, and, I mean, we don't have Tom Mark, who's been playing for us. I think this is a team that we can take turns. And that's one of the things I think happened tonight. We went through a stretch there that we went to Corey Stevenson, and he answered the call. And then we went through a stretch with Officer Jamel. But we started off kind of going to Marvin. So, I mean, I just think that's the way this team is built. I would like to have more assists. There's no question about that. But, I won't complain. If we're going to score 86 points every night, I think we'll be good enough defensively to win. But obviously you want a little bit more fluidity in our game and a little bit more flow to what we're doing. And, but again, I call the plays. So when Mel got hot, I went to him. And when Corey got hot, I went to him. You know what I'm saying? And I put Blue in the game not to go to him, but I thought he would get open because they had been playing our forwards to not shoot the ball. So we went small, and I thought he would have a chance to get open, and thank God he answered the call.
Yeah. If I could, because you've piqued my curiosity, if Marvin IV is blue and Marvin III is red, what's the story behind this blue and red?
That's the names that they were called when they were young. When I met Marvin III and I was talking to his family, he came on his visit, they kept saying red, and I was looking around like, who's red? Well, I called Marvin the third, and I called Blue, who's Marvin the fourth. So when y'all was saying Marvin over here, I was like, Marvin not in here. Why they keep calling Marvin name? But he's Marvin too. So the family name, I don't know. I didn't do that much research to find out why they put colors to him, but I'm glad both of them are here.
Anyone else? Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you guys coming out. Thank you very much. Always. Thank you, man. Thank you, man.